Hey guys, welcome to episode 11 of Fast Break with Tundra Baller. This is the last episode of the semester, and let's get things started. So, like I said, this is the last episode of the semester. If you guys have been listening to the entire semester or at any point this semester, I really appreciate you guys have been tuning in. This is my first time doing this entire radio and pretty much the first part of my journey of chasing my dreams as being a journalist for the LA Clippers. So I'm going to introduce myself again, you guys. If this is the first time that you're listening to Fast Break with Tundra Baller, my name is Mario Duenas. I am a huge Clippers fan. Been a passionate Clippers fan since about 2011, and and I'm also a season ticket holder for the Clippers, and I pretty much talk about anything basketball here. But I also talk about a lot of the LA Clippers here, since this is my dream to work for the Clippers one day, and and hopefully this is one step closer to my goal one day. So we have a lot of things to talk about. We have two Clipper games to talk about, and we also have our third NBA player spotlight. And then we'll talk about the in-season tournament that happened in Las Vegas, the two quarterfinal games, and then the championship game in Las Vegas. So let's get things started about the Clipper games first. So we have two games to talk about. It is the Clippers and Rockets and the Clippers and Grizzlies. This is already the third time that the Clippers and Grizzlies face each other already, but we'll talk about the Rockets game first, since this is the first game from the week from last episode to this episode that you're listening to right now. So the Clippers and Rockets, it was last Thursday's game. So to start off the game, it took 2.5 minutes for the Clippers to score. They were down 7-0 before that. James Harden passed the ball inside to Visa Zubas for the dunk, and the Clippers, they were just jacking up threes. They missed their first six threes. Four of those six threes were before Zubats' dunk. So the Rockets, they started the game up 7-0. Josh Okogie made a free throw. Then Alperen Sengun, Amen Thompson, and Jabari Smith Jr. got a two-pointer to go. Smith Jr.'s bucket came off picking Harden's pocket and going all the way for a dunk. Kawhi made two threes in a row after the Clippers, they bricked six straight threes. The Clippers were down as much as 8 points in the first quarter. They came back a little bit though, and they tied the game after Nico Batum hit a corner three with 33 seconds left. The end of the first quarter, it stayed tied at 29 points apiece for both sides. So now going into the second quarter, again, very slow start for the Clippers. The Rockets, they scored 9 points right away. Justin Holiday started things off with a three. Then Alperen Sengun got a sneaky steal from Nico Batum's back to get a dunk. And then Clint Capella got back-to-back buckets inside. After that, the Clippers scored 5 straight points, though, to stay in the game, with a Bogdan Bogdanovic three and then a midi from Kawhi. Then they brought the lead down to 1 with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter after a 8-2 run in a span of 4 minutes. After the Rockets committed a shot clock violation, Jeff Green was on the bench and got a technical foul for the Rockets. Then the Clippers tied the game after a Chris Dunn three with less than 5 minutes to go. With 3 minutes to go, the Clippers were down 6, but they finished on a 12-3 run in the last 3 minutes to take the lead at halftime, 54-51. Ivica Zubac scored 7 of those points with 2 dunks, a layup, and a free throw. So now going into the second half, when the Clippers took the lead with a minute left after Zoo's layup, that was our first lead in the game. When Zubac took the lead before halftime. So the Clippers, they scored 6 quick points to start the quarter when Kawhi made a three and then John Collins got an and one. After that, Brook Lopez got a technical foul when he was on the bench. So now both teams they got technical fouls when a player was on the bench. I have no idea what Brook Lopez said, but it looked like that he was arguing at a ref for some reason after a call. The Clippers, they were up as much as 7 points in the third quarter. John Collins scored 7 points in the first 4.5 minutes in the third quarter. The Clippers were up as much as 6. And with a minute left, Nico hit a 3 in the corner. But the Rockets, they scored 4 straight points to bring the lead to 2 at the end of the quarter, 82-80. Josh Okogie got a layup to beat the buzzer. So Kevin Durant, he scored 13 points in the third quarter. He had an off first half, but he turned up in the third quarter. To start the fourth quarter, the Rockets, they got 5 quick points after Aaron Holiday hit a 3 and Amen Thompson got a dunk and went coast to coast for a steal. So the Clippers, they were just falling apart with misses and allowing easy buckets. They were down as much as 8 points in the fourth quarter. The Clippers, they showed some hope though. They went on a 9-2 run with a Kawhi layup, an and one, and a 4-point play from James Harden. He is a free throw merchant and he keeps drawing those fouls on 3-pointers. He is leading the league with those on drawing fouls when shooting a 3. Alperen Sengun, he found Amen Thompson in the paint and threw down a poster on Zubac. And then a minute later, Kawhi threw down a poster over Sengun, getting his teammates back. Zubac got an and one to bring the lead down with 2 minutes left. Sengun got a turnaround hook shot to fall over Zubac to bring the lead down to 5. So on the other side, Harden threw up a heat check by shooting a deep 3, but he airballed. I don't know what that was when he shot it. I was like, what are you doing, James? So the Clippers, they got to stop, and then Zubac got fouled again. He made both free throws, and it turned into a 3-point game with a minute left. Sengun missed on the other side, and Harden hit a 3, a huge 3, to tie the game with less than 40 seconds left. For the Rockets, Reed Shepherd, he missed a 3, and then Sengun got 3 offensive rebounds and missed 3 tip-ins. So he was pretty much getting those rebounds, like just think of Angel Reese from the WNBA, but yeah, he missed it. 3 misses in about 3 seconds, and Amen Thompson, he got that last miss from Sengun and got an and one to bring the lead to 3 with 17 seconds left. So on the other side, Zubac got fouled. He shot 2 free throws because they were in the bonus. So he made one and missed one. A huge miss, on a close game, free throws, game on the line. It's big when you miss free throws like that. So it became a 2-point game. So it was rebounded by Jabari Smith Jr., and he threw an elbow to Chris Dunn for an offensive foul. So you think about it, that was a good miss. So they were looking to see if it was the offensive foul, because it was an elbow to Chris Dunn's face. So they were checking to see if it met the criteria of a flagrant foul. But unfortunately, it did not. It became a regular offensive foul. So it wasn't any free throws, and it was just Clippers ball instead of free throws and Clippers ball. So we got the ball, and that foul also by Jabari Smith Jr., that was his 6th foul, meaning he is out for the rest of the game. He's fouled out. So we got the ball after that. Then Kawhi, he got an offensive foul. He extended his off arm to Aaron Holiday with 11 seconds left. So then, now it's Rockets ball. The Clippers, they fouled Holiday, and he made one free throw and missed one free throw. So he made the second free throw. He missed the first one. So after the make, Nico Batum inbounded the ball. And the Clippers had no timeouts, by the way. So there was 11 seconds left. They had to go full court. They had no timeouts. If they were able to call a timeout, they would advance the ball to their side where they would shoot. So on the sideline, and then they would advance the ball so they wouldn't have to go full court. But here's the thing. You might have seen this already. And of course, the haters, they would be, they showed this play all over when this happened. But Nico Batum, he tried to inbound the ball, but his left foot stepped on the line when he passed the ball, which is illegal to do because your foot must be right behind the line when you pass the ball. And that resulted in a turnover. That is illegal to do. You can't do that. So that was a big error. And Nico, he had 2 more seconds to throw the ball. James Harden, he didn't even try to get the ball. Kawhi, he kind of did, but he stopped. So no one really tried to get the ball. So what were the Clippers doing in that play? Like, were they going for a long pass? We didn't have to do that. Like, we could have just went full court, just throw a short pass, go full court, and then shoot a 3 to tie the game. I don't know what the Clippers were doing. You just have to ask the players, ask Ty Lue what happened in that last play, but I'm not one of the players, so I don't know. I can't answer that. But yeah, so that turned into the Rockets ball. So yeah, they fouled Şengün. He airballed the first free throw. Very embarrassing. But then he made the second free throw. Zubac got the layup, and the game was over. So the Rockets, they won 115 to 113. So the Clippers, after this game, they are now 6-19. Very embarrassing. The Clippers should be 19-6. Very embarrassing. We shouldn't be losing this many games, but the Clippers are just not executing. Just no good. So here's what the box score looked like for this game. So we'll talk about the Rockets first. So Alperen Şengün, he was the leading scorer for the Rockets. 22 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. Amen Thompson, a near triple-double. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 rebound, and 2 assists shy of a triple-double. And Kevin Durant, he had an off game, as I said, and he finished the game with 16 points. So in the third quarter, he had 13 points. And then in the rest of the 3 quarters, he just had 3. So for the other side, the Clippers, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals for Kawhi Leonard. James Harden, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and Ivica Zubac, the leading scorer of the game, 33 points and 7 rebounds. So the next game was the Clippers and Grizzlies. So they played last Thursday, and they didn't have a game until the Monday, so 2 days ago. So they had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days off. So they had practice, and they were going home to play their first game at Intuit Dome since November 29th. So it was about almost 2 weeks. So today's the 17th when you're listening to this live. So they didn't have a home game in 16 days, a little more than 2 weeks. So a few days before this game, I got an email from the Clippers support section, also called the Swell. So season ticket holders for the Swell were invited to this event before the game where the Clippers president of basketball operations, Lawrence Frank, also known as the GM, he talked to us about the recent struggles and the reasons behind the moves that he made such as releasing Chris Paul, signing Bradley Beal, signing Brook Lopez, and trading away Norman Powell. So, so of course, I went to this event, and this event happened about 2 hours before the game started. So it started around 5:30, and the game it actually started at 7:30. So so I was at the arena about 3 hours early, like around more than 3 hours early. I was there around 4 o'clock. So that's how dedicated I am. But I'm usually at the arena around an hour and a half to 2 hours early, anyways. So it's just a little bit more early. But if you guys have been following me for a while, or listening for a while, I keep telling you guys that I make content on TikTok about the Clippers and my experiences at Intuit Dome, and I vlog every game that I go to and the events that I went to. So, of course, I decided to make a video on this because I knew that this would be good content. So, yeah, I recorded. So, I recorded my intro and going into court B, which is a basketball court inside the arena, pretty much the secondary basketball court inside the arena, and that is held, which is held for events and actual basketball games and stuff. That's where the Lawrence Frank conversations was at. So yeah, I recorded that, and I recorded Lawrence Frank coming in. So yeah, so he pretty much said, like, I want this pretty much as a conversation with you guys, not just pretty much a locker room speech, pretty much, and or to hype us up and stuff. But I'm just trying to be as real as possible with you guys. So that's pretty much what he said. I was planning on recording everything that he said, but before he started off with everything, he asked us to not record or film anything. So out of respect, I did not do that. So, but still, I made a video and pretty much posted a video of everything I was able to film, and I pretty much recorded my thoughts after the event. He pretty much talked to us for about an hour. So there was a lot of details that he talked to us about. Pretty much as far back as Blake Griffin, when we traded away Blake Griffin. So yeah, heartbreaking story, but he got traded the day before my birthday, and I was going to the Clipper game the next day for my birthday, so that was very heartbreaking, very sad, but yeah. So my video as of now, as the time of recording this, has about 2,000 views right now on TikTok and a good amount of comments. But there is this organization called AP Hoops that posted my video on Twitter, and it has been going around a lot there, and yeah, a lot of comments. Like I'm gonna read some of the comments to you guys. It is crazy. It is a lot of Twitter talk, but still, I'm used to a lot of the hate anyways. But I'm gonna read some of the comments. Useless video. Average Clipper fan looks like this. L for not dunking his bald head into the hoop. Start the rebuild, Bomber. What are you waiting for? Dude is a plant. Nothing good would happen. You wasted your time. So, yeah, I mean, I don't care about these comments. I'm used to the comments anyways. Like, it's not going to faze me. I've been dealing with a lot of comments like this for 15 years. Or almost 15 years. So, it is nothing new. So, this was before the Clippers and Grizzlies game last Monday. So, now, let's talk about the Clippers and Grizzlies game for real this time. So, the Grizzlies, they have John Morant back into the lineup. This is his second game back after an injury, and he's been out for a while. But they're still dealing with a lot of injuries. Going to this game, they are without Brandon Clark, Zach Edey, Ty Jerome, John Conchar, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Javon Small. They were also without Gigi Jackson, but he was playing the G League, so not really an injury. But the rest of the guys, they were dealing with injuries. So for the Clippers, Nico Batum didn't play due to an illness, and James Harden was questionable in this game with a calf contusion. So he got hit on the calf in the Rockets game, so that's why he was questionable. But he did play after all. And Derrick Jones Jr., he's been out since the Celtics game about 3 weeks ago, and he's still out with a knee sprain. So the Clippers, they were off to a good start. It seems like the same pattern, but this will be important later. So Kawhi Leonard, he scored 7 of the first 9 points of the Clippers' 9 points in the first 2.5 minutes. They got a 9 point lead after 7.5 minutes, but after things could possibly go right for once, they lost a lot of that momentum and were only up 2 the first quarter, 27-25. Cam Spencer scored 9 of those points, and Jaren Jackson scored 7 points in the first quarter, making them score 16 points combined of the Grizzlies' 25 points. The Clippers committed 8 turnovers in that quarter. It was ugly. So the Grizzlies, they took an 8 point lead 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. Jaren Jackson Jr., 14 points in that span, making 2 threes and 4 twos. So after he scored those 14 points, so it was early in the second quarter, maybe about 7 minutes left in the second quarter. My dad just pointed out, like, hey, look at this. Jaren Jackson Jr. is 21 points. I was like, what? I didn't think I had that much. But yeah, it was yeah, it was not good. But they were up 13 at one point, the Grizzlies, but they ended the quarter on a 5-0 run when John Collins made a layup and James Harden hit a 3 to bring the lead down to 8. 56-48. And the Grizzlies, they shot 59% in the second quarter, while the Clippers shot 36% from the field. So the second half, the Clippers started off very good on an 11-2 run. Kawhi got an and one, Ivica Zubac got a layup, and Chris Dunn, he got back-to-back threes to take the lead in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half. But after that, downhill. The Grizzlies, they gained momentum once again, and they went on a 9-0 run. Then a minute later, they went on a 6-0 run. Then they ended the quarter on a 7-1 run in the last minute to be up 14, 90-76. The fourth quarter, oh my God, it was nothing different, just nothing but worse for the Clippers. All right, so brace yourselves for this one. I'm going to try to keep my composure here because the fourth quarter, it was ugly. This guy, Cam Spencer, he made 4 threes in almost 3 minutes. Going to this game, I literally said, the keys of the game to win, we have to stop Jaren Jackson Jr., and we have to stop Cam Spencer. And want to know what the Clippers did? They did the complete opposite of that. They let those guys score left and right. So those threes, that brought the Grizzlies up 20 with 6.5 minutes left in the game. The Clippers, they couldn't respond with anything. Like, we would score, and then the Grizzlies would score. We don't score, the Grizzlies score. That's just how it is. So the Clippers, they couldn't respond to anything. Jaren Jackson Jr. made a 3 to bring the lead to 23 with less than 4 minutes to go. And Clippers head coach Ty Lue, he was like, you know what? This is over. He raised a white flag to put in the bench players, and the Clippers lost 121-103 for their 20th loss of the season. After 26 games, the Clippers have 20 losses. So after 26 games, we should have 20 wins. You know, I'm not expecting to go 82-0, but just be like, just play good. Like, come on, guys. Like, what is going on? So the box score, this is pretty ugly. So Jaren Jackson Jr., 31 points, 5 rejections, 13 for 18 shooting, and 4 for 5 from 3. Cam Spencer, oh my god. I literally said we have to stop this dude if we want to win this game. But we always let some random dude off the bench go off. Like, remember when I talked about Vit Krejci a few weeks ago from the Hawks? We let that guy go off for 8 threes. So this is like Vit Krejci of the Grizzlies, Cam Spencer. He went off for 27 points and made 7 threes out of 10 shots. And then another young guy, Jalen Wells, 16 points, 5 rebounds. We also couldn't stop him. So pretty much, I literally told my dad, the keys to winning this game: stop Cedric Howard, stop Jaren Jackson Jr., stop Jalen Wells, stop Cam Spencer, all those 4 guys. And we couldn't do that. Well, we pretty much stopped Cedric Howard. We drew 4 fouls from him. So that was one objective that we did good on. But we didn't do good on the other 3 objectives, which is stopping Jalen Wells, Cam Spencer, and Jaren Jackson Jr. So, yeah, we need to be 100% on completing those objectives. We are only 1/4 of it. So Kawhi Leonard, 21 points, 9 for 18 shooting. He made half of those 18 shots. Chris Dunn, 17 points, a really good offensive game for him. And he had 5 assists. James Harden, he had an off game. That calf must have been bothering him. 13 points and 6 assists. So, enough about the Clippers. We're going to be talking about our third and last NBA player spotlight of a semester. So we talked about VJ Edgecombe for number 1. Then we talked about Kobe Sanders from the Clippers for number 2. So now we're going to be talking about Cam Spencer from the Golden State Warriors. So this is his second year playing for the Golden State Warriors, and he has been playing meaningful minutes for the team lately. And I've been hearing about this story, and it's just some insane story. So how did he go from an unknown prospect to playing games in the NBA? Meaningful minutes in the NBA. So, starting off at high school, he went to the Boys Latin School of Maryland for high school. During his freshman year, he didn't make it to the JV team. He was cut. He wasn't good enough. In his sophomore year, he made the JV team. And at that time, he was 5'4" and 120 pounds. So a short, skinny guy. So his high school basketball coach, Cliff Reese, he said that the varsity team was pretty much stacked with a lot of seniors, and they were a successful team. They won 30 games. And he said that he put Pat Spencer on JV for his development. He wanted him to be in a situation where he was the main ball handler instead of just sitting on the bench on varsity. So the next season, for his senior year, he made it to the varsity team, and he averaged 15 points and 7 rebounds a game. He brought those numbers up to 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists a game in his senior year. So with those accolades, he earned all conference honors his senior year, and he helped his team win a state championship for the first time in 25 years in 2015. But during high school, basketball was not the only sport that he was good at, though. He was also a very good lacrosse player. I know, out of all sports, lacrosse. But for college, he decided to play lacrosse at a Division I school called Loyola, Maryland. And it turns out that he had a legendary career playing lacrosse from 2016 to 2019. During his senior year, he won the Tewa Rodden Award, which is pretty much the lacrosse version of the Heisman Trophy from college football. So he was pretty much the best player at lacrosse in Division One that year. So he holds the career assist record with 231, and he has a record for the most assists in the Patriot League with 380. In 2019, there was a new professional lacrosse league called the Premier Lacrosse League, and he was the first overall pick in the first draft in 2019 by the Archers Lacrosse Club, which is a team based in Harriman, Utah. Instead of playing professional lacrosse, though, he decided to play basketball at Northwestern University for his graduate year. In his workout, he impressed head coach Chris Collins with his athleticism and how he held his own on the court. In his one season at Northwestern, he averaged 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. He started in 29 of his 31 games. His season was cut short, though, because the COVID pandemic had shut down everything in March of 2020, so it canceled the March Madness tournament and a lot of the conference tournaments. So he put his name in the 2020 NBA draft, but nobody drafted him that night. A year later, he played overseas for the Hamburg Towers, which is a team in Germany. He played 5 games for the Towers, and he averaged 9 points and 3 rebounds. He then had an opportunity in the G League when he signed with the Capital City Go-Go, the G League affiliate of the Washington Wizards. He played 9 games for the Go-Go and averaged 3 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound and 1 steal in 12 minutes. Then after that, he signed a Exhibit 10 deal with the Golden State Warriors for next season, which is a training camp deal in an attempt to make the team. He didn't make the team, but he joined the Warriors G League affiliate, the Santa Cruz Warriors, for the season. He started 5 games for Santa Cruz and averaged 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, but his season was cut short due to getting hip and wrist surgery. He rejoined Santa Cruz the next season in 2023, and then during the season, he gained an opportunity when the Golden State Warriors in the NBA gave him a 2-way contract on February 22nd, 2024, giving him a real NBA opportunity. So he made his debut 3 days later on February 25th against the Denver Nuggets. And he chose the number 61, is very random the number, but there's a reason to that. He chose that number because there are 60 draft picks every year in the NBA draft, and he wanted to write his own story. So this season, very recently, this month in December, he was given a big opportunity of playing time when the Warriors were dealing with injuries, when Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler went down with their own injuries. So he was able to play as the main ball handler and to be the main guy of a second unit. So in a 4-game stretch in this month of December, he averaged 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists while shooting 59% from the field, 75% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line, not missing a single free throw. So with those stats, he is one of 11 players in the league to average at least 16 points, 5 rebounds, and a 65% or better true shooting percentage in that span. He had a career-high 19 points, and he had 2 12-point quarters in the fourth in the clutch. In the clutch, he had some big-time moments, such as hitting a big 3 to bring the Warriors up 4 against the Philadelphia 76ers with 1:12 left and making 2 free throws to ice the game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This made Stephen Curry really excited for his teammate on the bench. Although he doesn't have a guaranteed roster spot or a spot in the rotation when the Warriors are fully healthy, he has shown that he belongs in the NBA. So that was a very inspiring story. So we are going to our last segment of the semester. We are going to be talking about the NBA in-season tournament. So the semifinal games. So we are going to briefly talk about the the semifinal games, and then we'll really go on to the championship game. So the first semifinal game is the Knicks versus the Magic. So the first quarter was neck and neck. They exchanged the lead a few times. Jalen Suggs scored 8 of the first 13 points. Yeah, 13 points for the Magic. And then after Jonathan Isaac made a three to take the lead for the Magic with 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the first quarter, they held on to the lead for the rest of the quarter to be up 36-33 after the first quarter. Jalen Suggs finished the quarter with 10 points for the Magic. For the Knicks, Jalen Brunson scored 11 and OG Anunoby scored 8. Both sides shot very close to each other, but they shot 61%. The Knicks, they started the quarter on an 8-0 scoring run when 2 twos from Josh Hart and 2 more twos from OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges fell. So the Knicks, they scored 38 points in the second quarter to take the lead at halftime, 71-64. Their field goal percentage was almost twice as high as the Magic in that quarter. The Magic shot 34%, and the Knicks almost double with 65%. Jalen Brunson, he scored 14 points for the Knicks in the second quarter, ending the half with 25 points. Jalen Suggs, he scored 15 points in the second quarter for our Magic, also ending with the first half with 25 points. So after the Knicks took a 10-point lead in the third quarter, the Magic were gaining momentum to come back into the game. To take the lead, they went on an 18-4 run with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the quarter. So the Knicks, however, they finished the last 3 minutes on an 8-0 run, with 5 of those points coming from Jalen Brunson to take the lead 192. Brunson scored 12 more points, bringing his total points to 37. The Knicks, they carried the momentum in the fourth, and they won by 12, 132-120. Karl-Anthony Towns scored 10 points for the Knicks in the final quarter to help ice the game and take the Knicks to the finals in Las Vegas. So the box score for the Knicks: Jalen Brunson, 40 points, 8 assists, 16 for 27 shooting. Karl-Anthony Towns, 29 points, 8 rebounds with 9 for 11 shooting. And OG Anunoby, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Jalen Suggs, 26 points, 7 assists. Paolo Banchero, 25 points, 8 rebounds. And Desmond Bane, 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists for the Orlando Magic from those guys. So the other game was the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Going to this game, the Thunder, they only have one loss. So Victor Wembanyama, he returned to the lineup for the first time after a 12-game absence for the Spurs. He came off the bench for this game. After 4 minutes, the Thunder already took a 10-point lead 4 minutes into the game. They kept that momentum going to end the first quarter up 11, 31-20. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 10 points in the first quarter for the Thunder, and Stephon Castle scored 7 of the Spurs' 20 points in the first quarter. So Victor Wembanyama, he didn't enter the game until the start of the second quarter, and he already scored a basket in the Spurs' first possession when he got a tip-in from Dylan Harper's miss. The Spurs, they brought the lead down to 4 at one point, but after that, the Thunder went on a 16-4 run to bring the lead to 16. But it turned into the complete opposite, though, when the Spurs entered the half on a 13-0 run to bring the lead down to 3, 49-46. In the third quarter, the Spurs took the lead for the first time with 8:45 left in the quarter when De'Aaron Fox got a 2 to fall. They were up as much as 6 at one point in the quarter. They scored 29 points in the quarter to go up 1 at the end of the quarter, 78 to 77. Both Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder and De'Aaron Fox for the Spurs scored 11 points each in the quarter. So the fourth quarter, it went down to the wire. The Spurs were up 4 with a minute left in the game. Jalen Williams shot a mid-range to cut the lead in half, but it was no good. Wembanyama missed the layup, and Castle got a rebound and tried to tip it back in, but it was no good, and the Thunder got a stop. They went down the court, and Chet Holmgren got fouled by Wembanyama with 25 seconds left. He made both free throws to make it a 2-point game. Holmgren then fouled Wembanyama. He made and missed one free throw, so now it's a 3-point game with 20 seconds left. Shai got a quick dunk with 14.9 seconds left to make it a 1-point game. Then Castle quickly gets fouled and makes both free throws to make it a 3-point game. Then Caruso fouled Holmgren on purpose to avoid the Thunder to shoot a 3. And Holmgren made one and missed one to make it a 2-point game. And then both sides, they just kept fouling back and forth. And the Spurs won 111 to 109, giving the Thunder their second loss of the season. So the other loss, it was by the Portland Trail Blazers earlier on in the season. So the box score, so for the Spurs, Devin Vassell, he had 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And then with 22 points came from Stephon Castle, Victor Wembanyama, and De'Aaron Fox with 22 points apiece. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the leading scorer for the game. He had 29 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren had 17 points each. So those games were last Saturday, and now let's talk about the championship game, which happened last night on Tuesday night, the Knicks against the Spurs. So it was once again in Las Vegas. So Victor Wembanyama, he's still coming off the bench going to this game. The Knicks, they started the game up 7-2, but the Spurs responded with a 9-0 run to take the lead 11-7. The Knicks, they kept it close though, and they tied the game at 17 when Josh Hart made a floater. Then they took the lead when Karl-Anthony Towns threw a pass right behind Victor Wembanyama. It was on a double team. I don't know how he got that pass off, but I guess just through his long arms, he got that pass through. He threw it to OG Anunoby for a dunk. So the Spurs, they took the lead in the last minute, and they were up 30-28 to end the first quarter. OG Anunoby scored 10 points, and Jalen Brunson scored 9 points in the first quarter. On the other side for the Spurs, Devin Vassell led the Spurs with 7 points. After a minute, the Spurs brought the lead up to 5 when Julian Champagnie made a 3 in the corner. The Spurs made 3 threes in the first 2 minutes, one from Champagnie and back-to-back threes from Dylan Harper. The Knicks were scoring here and there, but the Spurs couldn't miss to start the second. Then the Spurs missed 3 shots in a row. The Knicks had one play where they missed 5 shots in the paint in one play. Wembanyama was defending the paint. You know how he is. He is very tall, long wingspan, and he just changes a lot of shots when he's defending the ball. And on help also. And he blocked one of those 5 shots. The Spurs, they took a 7-point lead when Wembanyama stole the ball and passed the ball to Stephon Castle for a dunk. They could have brought the lead to 9 on the next play, but Wembanyama missed a reverse dunk coming from an alley-oop. The Knicks brought the lead down to 1 when Josh Hart got a tip-in from Brunson's missed layup with 2 minutes left to go. And then they tied the game after back-to-back buckets in the paint from OG Anunoby. De'Aaron Fox, he hit a midi to take the lead at halftime, 61-59. Anunoby scored 10 more points in the second quarter, doubling his points total to 20. To start the second half, Fox hit a deep 3 from San Antonio. Not literally from San Antonio, but a really deep 3. And then he hit a step back 3 the next play to bring the lead to 8, so he hit back-to-back threes. The lead stayed around 4-8 when the Spurs went on a roll to bring the lead to 11. After that, Towns scored back-to-back buckets to bring the lead to 7. And then he appeared to be in pain on the bench coming from his left leg. He didn't come back into the game. So Wembanyama, he scored 10 points, 10 straight points, with a dunk, a mid-range, and 2 threes in 2 minutes. The Knicks, they kept scoring though, and they were only down 5 at the end of the third quarter, 94-89. So, primetime championship game for the NBA Cup, and everybody that wins gets $500,000, all the players. So, primetime, close game. Here's the last quarter. So, the Knicks, they had an electric start in the fourth quarter. So, they were down 5, right? To end the quarter, they started by scoring 8 unanswered points, 8-0 run in the first minute and a half. Mitchell Robinson got a dunk, and Jordan Clarkson, he got back-to-back threes. So, this brought the lead to 4. They called a timeout, the Spurs, and then the Knicks extended that run to 15-3. So just a huge run. Wembanyama was not in at this time because he's on mid restriction. So the Spurs, they got a flopping technical foul after a coach's challenge after that run. So Wembanyama, as I said, he was in mid restriction. He didn't come in the fourth quarter until there was less than 5 minutes to go. At 4:49 to go. So Josh Hart, he hit a 3 to bring the Knicks up 8 with less than 3 minutes to go. Then after that, Dylan Harper hit a 3, and then OG Anunoby traded that 3 to bring the lead back to 8 with 2 minutes left. So both teams, they got a few stops. The Knicks, they got some stops. The Spurs, they got some stops. So Brunson, he shot a 3 with a minute left, and then there was a jump ball after a rebound. The Spurs, they won the jump ball, and the Knicks, they got another stop. So the Spurs fouled right away. They fouled Tyler Kolek, a second-year player. He made both free throws. The Knicks, they got another stop, and the game was pretty much over. The Knicks are the 2025 NBA Cup champions in Las Vegas. So, the box score, OG Anunoby for the Knicks, 28 points, 9 rebounds. Jalen Brunson, 25 points, 8 assists. Karl Anthony Towns, 16 points, 11 rebounds. So, on the other side for the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama off the bench, 18 points, 6 rebounds. Dylan Harper also coming off the bench, 21 points, 7 rebounds. And then the starters, De'Aaron Fox, 16 points, 9 assists. And Stephon Castle, 15 points, 12 assists. And he had 7 of those assists coming from the first half. So guys, that is pretty much it for this semester. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I had a lot of fun doing this radio show, Fast Break with Tundra Baller. You know, I decided to apply after going to Discoverfest. And yeah, so I pretty much went to the Italian radio booth and I saw the DJ applications and they were telling me about it. And yeah, so that's how I applied for Titan Radio. And then I pretty much just put what I was gonna do. So pretty much put my name, Fast Break Tundra Baller, and then said what I was gonna do. And then about a few weeks later, I found out that I got selected to be part of Time Radio and pretty much be a DJ for this semester. So I had a really fun time doing this, guys. You know, I would prepare almost every week for this. So we had 11 episodes. Doing this for almost every week since September has been really fun, guys. So yeah, talking about the Clippers, I remember from episode 1, pretty much the big thing that we were talking about. The NBA season didn't start yet, but pretty much the first big topic that we talked about in episode 1. If you guys remember this, you guys are an OG. We were talking about the Kawhi Leonard and the aspiration allegations and Steve Ballmer circumventing the salary cap. And as of now, the latest update for that is that Ballmer got sued by by some aspiration people, and pretty much that was the latest update. And there's no more news besides that. Pretty much since the update of after of everything I said from episode 1. So yeah, and I hope to be back next semester, guys. And if you guys have been tuning in, or this is the first episode that you are listening from me, you know, I'm grateful that you guys have been pretty much just seeing my journey. Pretty much this is the first gig that I have ever gotten in my journalism journey, and I'm pursuing a journalism career for the Clippers. That's what I want to do after graduating from Cal State Fullerton. I am a sophomore right now, so I got some more time to pretty much build my resume while I'm here for the next 2.5 years. And I'm excited for what's next, guys. I am looking forward to hopefully coming back next semester to talk to you guys more here on Time Radio. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next semester, and have a good Christmas, have a good New Year's, and hopefully I can see you guys next semester. All right, see you guys later.